I was reminded the last time I spoke that I never bothered to introduce myself. I just sort of assume after 15 years you know who I am, but there are always new people. I'm Hank Lewis, and I'm a licensed Unity teacher here. And one of our visitors today is from Gainesville. And she can attest to the fact that when I'm not here, I really am in other places. So it's good to have you guys here with us this morning. Thank you for being here. So I want to thank everybody who makes this service flow smoothly. From our board to the folks in the back, our ambassadors and greeters, to our AV team, to our musicians and everybody, our prayer chaplains, and those who make sure we have hospitality afterwards, we are grateful. We are blessed, and we say thank you. That's a part of being, thank you. That's a part of being the hands and the heart and the feet and the voice of God on this earth, volunteering and taking care of the things that need to be taken care of. So our theme for this month is Spiritual 2020, Seeing Clearly with the Christ Mind. And my particular talk this morning is called Seeing Beyond Appearances. When you think about your physical vision, it's always about clarity of sight, alignment and accuracy of vision. But spiritually, seeing with our Christ mind goes deeper than that. It's seeing beyond appearances and seeing truth and seeing clearly with the eyes of the Christ that's within each one of us, the living Christ that is a part of who each one of us is. I have this friend who is not the most fashion-forward person that I have ever met. And his glasses are much like the rest of his clothing. They look like the ones I wore in the 3rd grade when I needed to be able to see, and they knew I was going to break them soon anyway, so you might as well just get the clunkiest thing you could possibly find. And he was always sort of insulted when people would look at him and say, "You look so much better with your glasses off." So we all decided we would help him. We would come up with something he could say back. So we decided we would just throw a little shade. So when people say, "You look so much better with your glasses off," he would then respond, "You look much better when my glasses are off too." So this morning, I want you to think about that for just a moment. Many of us wear glasses or contacts or other things to help us see because we want to see clearly. We want to be able to see. For me, it's a good thing to be able to see the quotes that I have on this piece of paper in front of me because it's helpful that I don't have to memorize every quote I've decided to use today, and there's probably more of them today than I've ever done before. But I want to do that just so that we hear what other people think as well. And I want us to look at 3 areas this morning: how we view ourselves, how we view others, and how we view our world. Unity teaches that Christ isn't a person, and it's certainly not Jesus' last name. Christ is actually a principle. God is principle. God doesn't change. There's a verse in Scripture that says, God the same yesterday, today, and forever. That verse talks about principle. God isn't a respecter of persons. God's not going to look at you and go, "Oh, I like you, I'm going to do this for you, and I don't like this person, so I'm not going to do it for them." No, God is principle. God doesn't change. God is the same for every one of us. And it's through that presence that I want us to look at ourselves and others and the world. Charles Fillmore called the Christ the God idea of man. So it's an idea. It's a part of that expression that is in each one of us, the divine idea. And when we look from this Christ awareness, our vision can be clear, and we can truly see the world and ourselves and others as we are divine beings. We spend a lot of our time viewing life through the lens of how we grew up, of the appearances that we see, things people said to us, things people did. We see our conditions and our limitations and our challenges. But Unity reminds us that appearances aren't the final word. Divine understanding and simply looking at things from that divine lens will give us a different view. John 7:24 in Scripture, Jesus said, "Do not judge by appearances, but judge by right judgment." In unity terms, right judgment's about spiritual discernment, the ability to perceive in truth beyond, with the sense telling us one thing, our senses are saying something to us, but we get to say, nope, not right. This is the way it really is. It's not just our outer circumstances that are who we are. It's who we know ourselves to be. It's the truth of who we are. So I want us to take some time to examine first how we view ourselves, how we can see clearly who we truly are. Many of us go through life with that inner blur I was talking about, a misperception of who we are, a misperception of who we can be. We see our past mistakes, we see our anxieties, we see our perceived inadequacies, but that's not who we are. Philosopher, he would like that I call him that, and rapper 50 Cent, said, "Your opinion of yourself becomes your reality. If you have all of these doubts, then no one will believe in you, and everything will go wrong. If you think the opposite, then the opposite will happen. It's that simple." It's a direct reminder for us that our inner view helps to shape our life. The Buddha said, "What you think, you become." And all of this is part of Unity's third principle, which says human beings create their experiences by the activity of their thinking. Everything in the manifest realm had its beginning in thought. So often summarized, it comes out as thoughts held in mind produce after their kind. So that which we consider, that which we think on, that which we make a part of our inner being, that which we become emotionally attached to, becomes our reality. Some people just say, "I create," knowing that we are co-creators with God of our life experiences. And all that's fine, but who are we really? Beyond our perceptions, beyond our appearances, we are a child of God. We are children of God. Created in God's image, we are given a purpose when we are incarnated and dominion over the earth. Some of us, as we're growing and as we're evolving our soul, figure out what our purpose is. Others of us, I believe, get another life to try one more time to figure out what our purpose is. Why are we here? What is it we're on this earth to do? Why did we incarnate now? And we're going to talk about that a little more in a minute. But when we think about creating and we think about who we really are, we need to learn to believe in who we are. A child of God, made in the likeness and image of God. That is who you are, period. There's nothing beyond that. We are like God. We are a part of God, God a part of us. And we need to learn to forgive ourselves for the mistakes we made when we were doing our very best to just survive. And we need to forgive ourselves for the things we did when we didn't know any better. And we need to forgive ourselves for the things we did when we did know better. Let it go. That's a part of our past. That's who we were maybe for a moment. But it's not who we are. The truth of who we are is we are children of God. And through Christ's mind, we can see ourselves as whole, as loved, and as divine in essence. It is the very makeup of who we are. Unity's first principle, I said in our prayer this morning, says there's only one presence and power in the universe, and that is God the good. The second principle says we are expressions of that one presence. We are truly the heart, the hands, and the voice of God. That is who you are. Know that about yourself and claim that. Lewis Howes, who's a New York Times best-selling author, he wrote the book called The School of Greatness, said, you can either keep your greatness hidden under a pile of fears, regrets, and excuses, or you can let it come out. It's our choice. We get to make that choice every morning, and we get to make that choice over and over every day. Are we going to hide who we are? Going to hide our greatness? Or are we going to claim ourselves as a child of God and live that way? Dr. Carolyn Leaf said, your purpose is not just the thing you do. It's the thing that happens to others when you do what you do. It's how you make people feel and remember you by doing the things that you do. It's the experience that your energy leaves upon them. By mastering your unique gifts, you step into the realm of the infinite possibilities. The greatest blessing you can give to humanity is owning your own purpose and inspiring others to courageously own theirs. Some of you do such a beautiful job of that. You inspire others. You make sure that others have a positive image of you because of the energy you've left with them. The invitation is for all of us to do that, for all of us to share our energy with others and to encourage them to share their energy with people around us. Reverend Catherine Ponder, who's my favorite prosperity minister, says, nothing can oppose my good. No one can oppose my good. I now accomplish great things with ease. It's one of my favorite affirmations. We're not what happened to us. We're not who people told us we are. We're a living expression of God. Will you say that with me? I am a living expression of God. One more time. I am a living expression of God. Know that to be true. Believe that about yourself. See yourself clearly as that expression of God. So now, how do we view other people? Excuse me. Thomas Merton, the Catholic writer and theologian and Trappist monk, said, our job is to love others without stopping to inquire whether or not they are worthy. That is not our business, and in fact, it's nobody's business. What we are asked to do is to love, and love itself will render both ourselves and our neighbors worthy. Spiritual 2020 is seeing beyond appearances when we're talking about other people. It reminds us to see others as the spiritual and divine being that they are as well. Our view of others isn't to be based on their behavior, their wounds, or even the way they project themselves. We're to view others just as we view ourselves, as a divine creation of God. That's easy to do, right? Yeah, not so much. Let's be truthful with ourselves. We are spiritual beings having a human experience, and that human part of us likes to look at some people and go, As you've heard me say before, there are people that I just want to grab and bop right on the head. And I'm equally sure there are people who would like to grab me and bop me right on the head sometimes. It's a part of who we are. It's a part of that humanity that we have. But our view of others can't be based on that. It has to be based on everyone is a divine creation and child of God. Even when someone is acting out of fear and pain, the Christ in us should recognize the Christ in others. I found a quote that I like. I wish I knew who said it. But it says, everybody's doing the best they can, here comes the next part, with the awareness that they have. Again, if you don't know any better, it's hard to do better. So we need to look at people that way. They're doing the best they can with the awareness they have. And to remind myself, one more time, they're doing the best they can with the awareness they have. Where there is confusion, Christ's mind will see potential. Where there is conflict, Christ's mind sees compassion and empathy. Where there is separation, Christ's mind sees wholeness and oneness. Brené Brown defines spirituality as recognizing and celebrating that all beings are inextricably connected to each other by a power greater than each one of us, grounded in love and compassion. grounded in love and compassion. This is the foundation of the resilience of who we are, emphasizing belonging, emphasizing meaning and shared responsibility to alleviate suffering, to move forward, knowing that we are each a child of God. Now let me be clear. Seeing others with Christ's mind and seeing them as divine does not mean you let them run over you. It does not mean you let them abuse you. It does not mean that you let someone take advantage of you. This congregation is full of people with big hearts and big love. I have seen you express it over and over and over. But you are a person of dignity and of value, and you don't let others take advantage of you. That's a part of it. I can see you as a child of God with the awareness you currently have and know that I still am not going to let you take advantage of me. Remember that part as well. Be love. Be a giver. Acknowledge the Christ in everyone, but also keep your boundaries in place. Mother Teresa has a rather long quote that I like, so I want to share it this morning. It's our view of others. I will not rescue you, for you are not powerless. I will not fix you, for you are not broken. I will not heal you, for I see you in your wholeness. I will walk with you through the darkness as you remember your light. It's my favorite part. I will walk with you through the darkness as you remember your light. People are often unreasonable, illogical, and self-centered. Forgive them anyway. If you are kind, people will accuse you of selfish and ulterior motives. Be kind anyway. If you are successful, you will win some false friends and some true enemies. Succeed anyway. If you are honest and frank, people may cheat you. Be honest and frank anyway. What you spend years building, someone could destroy overnight. Build anyway. If you find serenity and happiness, people may be jealous. Be happy anyway. The good you do today, people will often forget by tomorrow. Do good anyway. Give the world the best you have, and it may never be enough, but give your best anyway. And then this final statement. You see, in the final analysis, it's between you and your God. It's never between you and them anyway. Be love. Be grace, be healing, be forgiving, be kind, be honest, be a neighbor. So that's how we look at ourselves. That's how we look at others. How do we look at our world? We live in a time of change, uncertainty, confusion, and I believe transformation. The world may look divided, chaotic, or broken, but it and we are in this time of transformation. The human part of my spiritual self is often confused, wondering what's this world going to look like in 5 or 10 years from now. I know that when I look at the world from a mindset of fear, I'm going to have more fear. And I know when I look at the world through a mindset of faith, there are new possibilities that are being called forth. As I consider our world, I want to offer 3 thoughts. Divine order is at work even when I cannot see it. I believe the world is waking up as it appears to be falling apart. And I choose to see good emerging, but I'm not foolish enough to believe it will be accomplished without difficulties. Our world is hurting. And as hard as many of us may try to fix it, we can't. The only thing we can do is change ourselves. And as we change ourselves, we change our world. I look within, and that which behind me and that which is in front of me are things I can't control. But what I can control is the power that lies within me. Reverend Dr. Mark Sandlin, a Presbyterian minister and progressive scholar, said, "I try to follow the teachings of Jesus, not the teachings of the men who formed a religion around him." With that definition in mind, I believe that as a Christian who follows the teachings of Jesus, it's my duty and responsibility to be love in this world. And I have to acknowledge that that love takes on a lot of different faces. And each of us has to decide for us, for me, what's right in this moment. So for me, here's my list. For me, it's right in this moment to call out wrong and injustice when I see it. It's right for me to stand up for what I believe and have believed is right. It is to trust my intuition and my gut and my ability to discern and to act on that intuition. It is to take a stand, for while the world is in its time of transformation, it's my responsibility to also take a stand for love. It's my responsibility to take a stand for peace, to visualize peace, and to be peace. It's my responsibility to stand up to bullies who are representing false truth. It is my responsibility to spend more time in prayer, meditation, and reflection. It is my responsibility to show kindness to those around me. I believe that the energy and love I put into this world lifts the vibration of humanity. And I invite you to join me there. Put into this world love and peace and joy and goodness, and let's lift humanity. You are a living expression of God. You can see clearly through the Christ who is a part of you. Jane Goodall said, "You cannot get through a single day without leaving an impact on the world around you. What you do makes a difference, and you have to decide the kind of difference you want to make." You are a living expression of God. You are love. You are peace. You can see the world through the Christ who lives in you. In Esther 4:14, Mordecai asked Esther a question that ends with a phrase we hear a lot: "For such a time as this." He's asking her, did she come into power and did she come into this time of service for such a time as this? I would ask us, we chose to incarnate now. Did we do that for such a time as this? You are the one you've been waiting for. You are the one we've been waiting for. Love yourself. Be bold. Be fierce. Be brave. You are beautiful. You are powerful. And you are bountiful. I invite you now to take a deep breath. Become comfortable where you're seated. Relax your jaw and your shoulders. Allow your arms to fall where they're comfortable. Some of us may need another deep breath. See yourself as a divine being. See others as an expression of God. See the world as spiritually evolving and transforming. See challenges as opportunities to make a difference. see life with faith instead of fear. That's the Christ mind. That's spiritual clarity. That's the vision that transforms lives. I invite you to ask yourself, how do you view yourself? How do you view others, your neighbors? Mark 12:31 says, love your neighbor as you love yourself. How do you view the world? Remembering that we see the world not necessarily as it is, but based on who we are and what we believe. And I invite you now to go into a time of silence as we consider our own divinity and how we choose to show up in this world. Now I invite you to come back into this present moment, into this time. Thank God for any message you may have received in the silence. And go forward to love yourself, to love others, and to be love in our world. You are beautiful. You are powerful. You are bountiful. And so it is. Amen.